Hello everyone, and welcome to NFLHouse.com player interview. My name is Eric Dalco, owner and director of scouting for the site, and I'm joined today by Derek Walker, defensive end prospect from Illinois. You play with fellow defensive end prospect Will Davis, and both are very talented, and should have little trouble translating to the next level. What was your relationship with him, and how did you guys together form one of the best duos in the Big Ten?
We'll start off as a wide receiver, tight end. We didn't know him too much when we first came in. But once he came to D-line and he played D-end, he kind of had to get used to it. He got a lot bigger. He had a really great, they kind of blew up and started just taking over from there. And our relationship got better. We started rooming together my junior year. We got to know each other more. Actually became real close after that. As far as talent-wise, Big Ten, I think that's just a product of our coaching. Our defensive line coach, we saw a lot of potential in us. We felt that we had to make a lot of plays. We were really talented. We had to play hard. I think we just compliment each other when we were on the field. I think he was more of a speak out kind of power guy. We just kind of made a harsh team.
Okay, and you came on strong to start your career. You were named to the Sporting News Freshman All-American team. You finished this past season with 6 sacks, an interception, and Big Ten honorable mention. What did you do in your college career that made you successful in college in Illinois and probably the next level?
I think the details of this hard work. Trying never to be satisfied with whatever you do, because there's always something you can work on. My position coach, I credit a lot of my success to him. He really helped me develop my skills as a defensive lineman. He came in, he gave us a whole different attitude of how to approach the game. He gave me a different attitude of how to approach the game as well. I guess just staying hungry, never staying satisfied. You always got things you can work on. You always things you can try to do better. I know you're never going to be perfect, but you can always try to be.
Okay, so on to the NFL Draft, where your primary concern probably lies right now. You attended the Texas vs. Nation game. What was that like, and how do you feel you did?
I think I did pretty well. It was a good experience. It's the first time you get to see scouts and you talk to them. They want to get a feel what kind of person you are. They kind of know what kind of player you are. Most of them feel like if they have, when you try to go out there and practice the game, they try to make it special. They hope they watch you and more about you. I think that's a great experience. You go against a bunch of guys with a lot of talented guys from the college. Different schools you're going to get a chance to play, and then you put us all in the All-Star game, and everyone's trying to go out there. You're making friends, but at the same time, you're also out there. You're trying to put a show on. Showcase what hopefully that certain team likes what you do.
Okay, and you also attended the NFL Combine. How do you feel you tested and worked out?
Overall, I think I tested pretty well. I didn't do too well on my 40 when I was training, but luckily I have a pro day, and I'm pretty much concentrating on that to get that time done. I know I can. For whatever reason, I just didn't perform well at the combine. But as far as everything else, I pretty much did as well as I thought I was going to do. I trained hard, and things worked out the way I went. I performed well, I thought. Overall, I think it was good. I think I did pretty well, personally. Right now, I'm just trying to work on that 40 time. If I get that down a little bit, that'll also help me. I think, speed kills. So I'm really working on that.
Okay, and how about the interview process, which could be the most important part of the combine? How do you think you did in that respect?
I think I did really well. I'm pretty much an honest person. If you ask me a question, I'm gonna tell you how. And I think you have to be truthful in the interview. When I ask you, just tell them, tell them the truth. You don't want to be what kind of person you really are. And that's what I did. I interviewed with a couple of teams, quite a few teams. I talked to guys walking through the hallway. You see a scout, you see a head coach, you say, "Hey, what's up, cool?" Just try to get your name out there and introduce yourself. The interview process was really good. I think they got a good feel of who I was, and what I'm about, what kind of person I am, and I think it went really well.
Okay, now in the NFL, it's all about schemes, 4-3, the 3-4, cover 2, and everything like that. where do you think you fit best at the next level?
I'm most comfortable as my hand down as a 4-3 defensive lineman. I've had a couple teams talk to me about playing, stand over the tight end. I've had a lot of experience playing over the tight end, in college, but going with my hand down, I don't think it'd be too much different with my hand up at 2-point, I'm comfortable setting the edge on the edge on the left side, a couple teams asked me if I do the same thing from a 2-point, maybe cover a flat. We had some defenses in Illinois where we dropped, I didn't used to it more, but I think I could have got well to it. But overall, I'm most comfortable, playing in the 4-3 defensive end, but I also think I can adapt to some D4 scheme as well.
Okay, and being a 4-3 defensive end, how do you think you compare to some players at your position?
I know when it comes to playing the run, I think I'm really stout at that. I play good high level. I feel like I have good leverage. I never feel too high. I set the edge pretty well. And I think in the pass rush, I'm working in progress, but I look at my film over the last couple of years of my progress. I'm pretty consistent. I get better every year. I get consistent pressure in the pocket. And, I think it's just a matter of time for that even. That's the thing as well.
Okay, you just touched on some of the things that you think you do pretty well. What do you think you need to improve on before the draft occurs?
Before the draft, main thing, try to get my 40 time down, I mean, I know I can, I just gotta do it when it counts. I'd rather tell everybody, it doesn't really mean nothing if you can't do it when people are there, and I gotta do it that 40 time. That's one of the things I'm working on. Just, football skills, like, as far as D-line, come up the ball, working my hands, stuff like that, to stay in tune with everything. You don't want to stop doing that stuff. To get rusty on it, because that's going to set you back, when it gets into, when I do get drafted, and give me many chances, if you want to stay fresh on that, just conditioning, staying in shape. Also, in terms of possibility, I could be, doing playing a 3-4, but I know I have to work on that, dropping and opening my hips, something I'm not used to doing, playing in Illinois when I'm dropping my hand on the ground, so that's one of the things I have to work on as well.
Okay, and finally, if I'm an NFL scout talking to you, and I want you to give me your best selling points to me being a possible NFL suitor, that you should be my defensive end pick come next April.
I'm a hard worker, I'm a consistent player, I'm really productive. There's no problems with me on off the field. I do what I'm supposed to do. I put in extra work time. I think I can be a big contributor to the team.
Okay, great. Thanks for your time, Derek. Best of luck with the rest of the NFL draft process, and hope to be talking about you at the next level in the near future.
Thank you.
Thanks again. Well, that was Derek Walker, defensive end prospect from Illinois. That concludes our interview today. Thank you for visiting NFLhouse.com, and feel free to contact me at Eric, ERIC, G, @NFLhouse.com. Thanks again.